This video will provide you with a general overview of the steps of the research process. We'll start with knowing your project requirements and work our way to writing the essay. The first step of the research process is all about knowing your project requirements. Before choosing a topic, stop and make sure that you have answers to all of your research-related questions. Students commonly skip this step and jump right into conducting research just to waste time locating information that's not appropriate for their needs. Now that you've answered all of your questions about the research assignment, you need to choose a topic. What interests you? What do you want to learn more about? What questions do you want to answer? It's time to formulate the main question that will drive your research. Here are two examples, one that addresses the topic of internet in the media, and the other that addresses the topic of parenting. Take a minute to consider both. Other than the topic that they address, what's the difference between example 1 and example 2? Example 1 is an open-ended question, meaning that it allows any type of response. An open-ended research question will allow you to explore a vast number of resources about your topic. An example of an open-ended question is, what is the purpose of madness in Shakespeare's plays? Example 2 is a closed question. Closed questions allow only a set of possible responses or yes or no responses. Closed questions are easier to analyze, but since they are often answered with a yes or no, they do not provide the rich responses that you may get with open-ended questions. Some examples of closed questions include, can changes in diet and upbringing compensate for genetic abnormalities? Though open-ended questions and closed questions differ from each other, either may be an appropriate way to phrase your research question. It depends on what type of paper you're writing and what type of information you want to discover. The next step after crafting your research question is answering the research question. Your thesis statement is a preview of what your paper will cover. No matter what type of paper you're writing, whether analytical, expository, or argumentative, this statement will be specific and debatable. There are two questions that you want to keep in mind when making your thesis statement. Let's take this example thesis statement. Parents of children who are severely obese are committing abuse, and question it to decide if it's a solid thesis statement. The first question to ask yourself is this: can someone disagree with this thesis statement? It's a closed-ended question, so the two possible answers are yes or no. In this case, yes, someone could potentially disagree with this thesis statement. The second question to ask yourself is this: does this statement not only answer your research question, but explain how or why? In this case, no, it does not. And because it doesn't, this is not a good preview of what your paper will cover and therefore is not a strong thesis statement. Let's add an explanation of why parents who allow their children to become obese are committing abuse in order to strengthen this statement. How about this instead? Parents who allow their children to become obese are committing abuse because of the potentially dangerous health consequences of obesity. Now, this is a statement that someone can disagree with, and this is a statement that answers how or why. Let's see if you can choose the best thesis statement. Test your skills by answering the following question. Where do you normally start searching for your resources? Do you spend time conducting short keyword searches on internet general reference sites and search engines? Or do you visit the library or the library's website and search the resources available there? While Google and Wikipedia aren't necessarily off limits, you would do well to always start with the library's resources. Anyone can share information on the internet, and the results returned by a search engine like Google are often manipulated by search engine optimizers, so you must use caution when exploring the information available there. The library, however, has credible, citable sources and helpful librarians who are happy to find what you need, whether it is general information, primary sources, or secondary sources. The research process is cyclical, which means you can always go back and repeat steps if necessary. Pause after you've completed the previous steps and figure out if you need to collect more information or if you have enough information. After reviewing the information that you've collected, you may even find that you need to change your research question based on what you found. That's definitely okay. Now it's time to write the essay. You'll need to collect all of the notes that you took while you searched for resources and synthesize the information that you found, being sure to cite properly and express your own ideas in order to avoid plagiarism. Before you're through, you'll want to be sure that your essay follows a format that's appropriate to your assignment. So congratulations, you've reached the end of this video. You should now have a basic understanding of the steps of the research process. Thanks for watching.